What if the ancient world's biggest secrets are not buried under legend, but under real, measurable evidence? From desert geoglyphs that only satellites can map, to a royal tomb that sonar may have already detected beneath a modern city, we are counting down 10 mysteries where the clues are concrete, but the answers still elude us. Stay for number 1. It's the most mind-bending ancient mystery of all. We begin above Peru. In the 10th place, the Nazca lines stretch across the Peruvian desert. Hundreds of giant geoglyphs, some visible only from the sky, cover the plain. Recent surveys driven by AI have nearly doubled the number of known figures, mapping shapes that follow ancient footpaths and suggest ritual movement. High-resolution Pleiades 1b satellite imagery reveals astonishing geometric precision, and petrographic studies show that workers deliberately cleared dark surface stones to expose the lighter earth beneath. Yet despite this evidence, only a handful of datable offerings have been found near the lines, leaving their exact age and purpose uncertain. Archaeologists debate whether these designs guided processions during communal ceremonies, or whether they marked astronomical events and functioned as a desert calendar. With every new line detected by AI, the puzzle deepens. Future LiDAR surveys may uncover hidden features beneath the sand, but for now, the intent behind these sprawling patterns remains just out of reach. Number 9. Stonehenge rises from Salisbury Plain as a monument shaped by centuries of change and debate. Microscopic analysis of local sand grains now rules out glacial transport, confirming that Neolithic builders hauled the bluestones over 200 kilometers by hand. Isotope studies on the altar stone have redrawn the map of its origin, suggesting a more complex supply network than once thought. Coprolite samples from nearby Durrington walls reveal parasite traces linked to large-scale feasting, pointing to seasonal gatherings. Yet ground-penetrating radar has uncovered hidden timber circles beneath the turf, adding new layers to the site's history. While the stones align precisely with the midsummer sunrise, archaeologists weigh whether Stonehenge functioned as an astronomical calendar or a social arena for ritual and feasting. Each new discovery deepens the puzzle, showing a monument that is both skywatcher and gathering place, its true purpose still just beyond reach. 8th place. Easter Island's Moai stand as silent witnesses to a deeper crisis. Pollen cores from the Rano Raraku quarry chart a sharp decline in native palm around 1300 AD, pointing to rapid deforestation long before European arrival. Ancient DNA from sediment layers confirms the arrival of Polynesian rats, likely accelerating forest loss. Drone-based three-dimensional mapping reveals unfinished moai and roadways, evidence of an ambitious society suddenly interrupted. After 1500, settlement patterns contract dramatically, as seen in GIS reconstructions. Scholars debate whether ecological overshoot triggered collapse, or if later disease and slave raids delivered the final blow. High-resolution sediment cores and underwater surveys may soon clarify which shock came first, environmental or external. Number 7. The Maya lowlands witnessed one of the ancient world's most dramatic declines. Stalagmite cores from caves like Sac-Acton reveal a series of mega droughts between 820 AD and 950 AD, with oxygen isotope ratios tracing sharp drops in rainfall that coincide with the abandonment of major cities. At the same time, carved stelae record a surge in warfare, capture, and blood glyphs multiply in the final decades, marking a period of heightened conflict among rival dynasties. Recent LiDAR mapping uncovers defensive walls and hilltop fortresses emerging across the landscape, evidence of cities bracing for instability. Yet the precise sequence remains unresolved. Did drought drive rulers into desperate wars? Or did escalating conflict fracture the networks that once buffered climate shocks? Only by synchronizing speleothem records with dated inscriptions and settlement shifts can researchers hope to untangle the chain of collapse. High-resolution sampling and expanded LiDAR surveys may soon deliver the city-by-city timelines that this puzzle demands. Number 6. The Antikythera mechanism emerges from a shipwreck off the Greek coast, a puzzle of ancient engineering. Micro-computed tomography scans have mapped its complex gear trains, revealing a device that could track lunar phases, planetary motions, and the timing of eclipses with surprising accuracy. Inscriptions on the corroded plates mention Olympiad cycles, hinting at a role in marking festival dates as well as celestial events. The gear ratios correspond to the 19-year Metonic and 18-year Saros cycles, supporting the view that it served as a kind of mechanical calendar and eclipse predictor. Yet, despite these technical breakthroughs, the audience for this device remains uncertain. Was it a tool for elite astronomers, a teaching aid, or something more public? Several fragments are still missing, and underwater surveys of the original shipwreck continue in hopes of finding more pieces. Experimental reconstructions, built from computed tomography imagery and three-dimensional printing, show the mechanism could have modeled the known cosmos, but its cultural context and true reach remain elusive. In 5th place, the Indus script challenges the boundaries of decipherment, with over 4,000 seal impressions uncovered at sites like Harappa and Mohenjo-Daro. Computational analysis finds that the arrangement of signs is far from random. Certain clusters and sequences appear with a regularity that echoes known linguistic systems. Radiocarbon dating anchors these artifacts firmly in the mature Harappan period, between 2600 BC and 1900 BC. Yet every inscription remains frustratingly brief, most just 4 or 5 symbols long, and not a single bilingual tablet has been found to provide a Rosetta Stone. Some researchers argue these marks encode a full language, while others suspect administrative shorthand or proto-writing. Excavations at Rakhigarhi now target deeper layers in hopes of revealing longer texts that could tip the balance. Until more extended inscriptions or a bilingual artifact emerge, the Indus script remains an enigma, structured, patterned, yet silent. Number 4. Linear A remains the most stubborn script of the Bronze Age Mediterranean. Multispectral imaging has recently uncovered faint ink traces on tablets from Knossos, expanding the known sign inventory and revealing strokes invisible under normal light. Yet even as the corpus grows, the language behind these symbols remains unknown. About 70% of Linear A's signs have recognizable counterparts in the later Linear B script, which records early Greek, but this overlap has not unlocked the code. The remaining 30% are either unique or appear in unfamiliar combinations, frustrating direct translation. Without a bilingual key, no Minoan Rosetta Stone, scholars cannot assign phonetic values with confidence. Most surviving texts are brief, often just administrative lists, too short for statistical decipherment. Computational models and imaging breakthroughs have sharpened the hunt, but until a longer bilingual inscription appears, Linear A's true meaning remains elusive. The search for that breakthrough continues as new imaging projects scan every surviving fragment. Coming to the top 3, the Sea Peoples emerge from Egyptian reliefs as a coalition of maritime raiders whose true origins remain unsettled. The battle scenes at Medinet Habu, carved in the reign of Ramesses III, depict distinctive horned helmets, feathered crests, and ships with bird-headed prows, details that allow archaeologists to track similarities across the Mediterranean. Stratigraphic layers at coastal sites like Ugarit and Ashkelon reveal synchronous horizons of destruction, charred debris, and sudden cultural shifts around 1200 BC. In the southern Levant, the appearance of Aegean-style ceramics and new architectural forms coincides with the arrival of groups later known as the Philistines. Isotopic analysis of human remains from these burials points to a mix of local and Aegean ancestries, suggesting migration rather than simple invasion. Competing models place the Sea Peoples as displaced Mycenaean refugees, Anatolian mercenaries, or a loosely allied armada drawn by the breakdown of the late Bronze Age trade. Despite overlapping evidence from reliefs, ceramics, and DNA, no single origin story fits all the clues. Future genome-wide studies and underwater surveys of shipwrecks might finally map the roots of these enigmatic fleets. But for now, the Sea Peoples remain a mystery at the crossroads of migration and collapse. In second place, the search for Punt draws together ancient texts, botanical residues, and Red Sea voyage records to reconstruct Egypt's most elusive trade partner. Reliefs at Hatshepsut's mortuary temple depict ships returning with myrrh, frankincense, and baboons, cargoes that hint at a lush, distant shore. Chemical traces of boswellia and commiphora resins, analyzed from ancient amphorae, match species native to the Horn of African, while pollen studies from Red Sea cores reinforce this African connection. Yet the debate remains unsettled. Some researchers point to the Eritrean coast, noting that depicted fauna, giraffes, and Hamadryas baboons closely resemble those found in modern East Africa. Others argue for a broader network, extending trade routes into southern Arabia, where similar incense trees flourish, and overland caravans once linked ports to the interior. Maritime archaeology has mapped ancient harbors along both coasts, but no definitive cargo manifest or inscribed toponym has surfaced. Underwater surveys of Red Sea shipwrecks and future residue analyses could finally anchor Punt's true location, turning a web of clues into a mapped reality. And finally, in first place, the search for Cleopatra's lost tomb brings together ancient texts, cutting-edge geophysics, and a new generation of archaeological strategy. Classical writers like Plutarch and Strabo describe a royal necropolis near Alexandria's harbor, where Cleopatra and Mark Antony were reportedly buried in a chamber of stone and gold. For centuries, this site has defied discovery, its location obscured by earthquakes, rising seas, and layers of later construction. Recent marine surveys have changed the equation. In 2024, sonar mapping beneath Alexandria's eastern harbor detected a massive stone platform 15 meters below the modern seabed, an anomaly that matches the dimensions of a Ptolemaic mausoleum. Sub-bottom profiling and magnetometer sweeps reveal rectilinear walls and sealed chambers, features rarely found outside royal contexts. Meanwhile, at Taposiris Magna, 25 kilometers west, Dr. Kathleen Martinez's team has uncovered foundation plates and a sealed cavity beneath the temple complex, along with 1st century BCE artifacts and a ceremonial mask linked to the cult of Isis. Both sites are now at the center of a coordinated plan, fusing ancient literary coordinates with GPS, LiDAR, and non-invasive drilling to isolate the most promising search zones. The next step, targeted excavation and DNA analysis, could finally resolve a question that has haunted historians for 2 millennia. As the investigation moves from classical manuscripts to the silent depths below Alexandria, the quest for Cleopatra's tomb stands on the edge of a breakthrough, because the biggest secrets are usually hiding in what survived. Across all 10 mysteries, one pattern holds. Even when physical evidence survives, the past resists simple answers. Every artifact, inscription, or ruin is both a clue and a limit. In ancient history, certainty is rare. Discovery is always possible, because the biggest secrets are usually hiding in what survived.